Imagine this. You wake up every day feeling trapped by the weight of self-doubt, convinced that your dreams are just out of reach. You wonder, can I really do this? Am I capable of achieving greatness? What if I told you that the doubts you're holding on to are not the truth of who you are, but simply a challenge waiting to be overcome? In today's video, we're going to destroy those doubts once and for all. I'm going to show you how to tap into the profound wisdom of Buddhism and unlock an unstoppable version of yourself, one that is powerful, confident, and fully capable of achieving anything. This is the moment you stop letting fear hold you back and start living the life you were always meant to lead. Ready to shatter your limits? Let's begin. 1. Recognize the voice of doubt. Doubt often sneaks up on us in the form of a quiet whisper, creeping into the back of our minds with thoughts like, "You're not good enough," or "What if you fail?" These whispers can feel so real and convincing, yet they are nothing more than fleeting thoughts. At times, doubt may seem harmless, but when we give it attention, it slowly starts to take root and grow stronger, affecting our confidence and choices. In Buddhism, one of the key teachings is to observe our thoughts without becoming attached to them. We are encouraged to see them as temporary, like clouds drifting across the sky, rather than truths that define us. When doubt arises, instead of allowing it to take control, we learn to simply notice it without reacting to it. This practice helps us realize that doubt is just another passing thought, not a permanent part of who we are. The more we react to doubt by believing it or giving it space in our minds, the more power it gains. But the true power lies in choosing not to attach to it. When we acknowledge doubt but let it go without attaching any meaning to it, we disempower it. Just like any other thought, it will pass, leaving us free to focus on what truly matters. The key is in recognizing that doubt is temporary and we don't have to let it hold us back or shape our decisions. By letting go of our attachment to doubt, we take back control and free ourselves from its grip. It's important to remember that our true strength doesn't come from the absence of doubt, but from our ability to recognize and move beyond it. With practice, we become more adept at not allowing doubt to direct our actions. By choosing to focus on our strengths and trust in our abilities, we empower ourselves to live beyond the limitations of self-doubt. Second, shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Doubt often stems from a mindset of scarcity, the belief that there's not enough to go around, that success is limited, or that we're somehow inadequate. When we think from a place of scarcity, we feel threatened by the achievements of others, and we question our own worth. We see the world as a battleground where we must fight for every opportunity, and this creates feelings of fear, competition, and limitation. In Buddhism, we are taught to shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance. This means recognizing that there is no shortage of opportunities, love, or success. There is always more to experience and achieve. When we adopt an abundance mindset, we see that the success of others doesn't diminish our own potential. Instead, it serves as proof that success is available to everyone, including us. By embracing abundance, we let go of the fear of not having enough and open ourselves up to limitless possibilities. We stop comparing ourselves to others and start focusing on our own growth, knowing that there is more than enough space in the world for us to thrive. When we choose to see the world as abundant, we begin to approach life with a sense of gratitude and possibility, replacing doubt with confidence. With this mindset, we unlock new opportunities, attract positivity, and step into a life filled with endless potential. 3. Embrace the power of action. One of the most effective ways to overcome doubt is to take action. Doubt thrives in stillness and hesitation. When we stay stuck in a place of uncertainty, we allow our fears and negative thoughts to spiral out of control. The longer we hesitate, the more powerful doubt becomes. In Buddhism, we are taught that the path to enlightenment is not one of sitting idle, but one of mindful, purposeful action. Right action, or sammakammanta, is one of the key elements of the Noble Eightfold Path, which encourages us to act with intention, clarity, and awareness. By taking action, we shift our focus from the doubts in our minds to the reality of the present moment, where we have the power to make a difference. When we act, even in small ways, we prove to ourselves that we can create change. Each step forward, no matter how small, weakens the power of doubt and moves us closer to our goals. It's important to remember that action doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be taken. In fact, the act of taking imperfect action is often more valuable than waiting for the perfect moment or the absence of fear. By choosing to act, we build momentum, and with momentum, doubt becomes less of a barrier. Buddhism teaches us that every action, when taken with mindfulness and purpose, brings us closer to the realization of our potential. The practice of mindful action allows us to stay focused on what truly matters, helping us break free from the cycle of overthinking and self-doubt. The more we engage in positive, purposeful actions, the more confident we become in our abilities, and the less room there is for doubt to grow. Taking action also fosters a sense of agency in our lives. It reminds us that we are not passive observers of our own story. We are the ones who shape our future. As we move through life with intention and determination, we begin to see that we hold the power to create the results we desire. Every action is a step toward proving to ourselves that we are capable, and with each step, we cultivate the confidence needed to keep moving forward, no matter how many doubts arise along the way. 5. Reflect on your past wins. It's easy to let doubt cloud our minds when we're focused on what's ahead, what we haven't yet achieved, or what might go wrong. We often get caught up in the fear of the unknown, and in doing so, we forget to recognize all the victories we've already achieved. Reflecting on our past wins is one of the most powerful tools we have to quiet doubt and build confidence. In Buddhism, we are encouraged to practice mindfulness and awareness in every aspect of our lives, including the recognition of our progress. When we reflect on our past achievements, we remind ourselves of the strength and resilience that has already carried us through challenges. These reflections become proof that we are capable of overcoming obstacles and that we have the power to achieve anything we set our minds to. Often, when we are in the midst of doubt, it's because we're focused on what we haven't yet done, rather than what we have already accomplished. This tendency to overlook our achievements can make us feel inadequate, but by intentionally reflecting on our past wins, we shift our focus to what we've already proven to ourselves. Whether these wins are big or small, each one is a testament to our abilities and determination. It could be something as simple as a difficult decision you made, a skill you learned, or a challenge you overcame that once seemed insurmountable. Each success, no matter the size, serves as evidence that you are capable of greatness. Buddhism teaches us the importance of reflecting on the three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, teachings, and the Sangha community. Reflecting on the Buddha's teachings about overcoming suffering and embracing the journey is a reminder that every step forward, even through doubt, is part of the path toward enlightenment. Each victory we've experienced, no matter how challenging, brings us closer to our true self and purpose. By seeing our journey through the lens of the Buddha's teachings, we can celebrate each milestone as a reflection of our growing strength and wisdom. Taking time to reflect on past wins not only reminds us of what we've achieved, but it also helps us see the patterns and qualities that led to those successes. What was the mindset or approach that helped you succeed in the past? What strengths did you rely on? When we identify the qualities that helped us succeed, whether it's persistence, creativity, resilience, or adaptability, we can consciously apply them to future challenges. These past wins become a resource of inner wisdom that we can tap into whenever doubt arises. Reflection also helps to ground us in gratitude. When we look back at what we've overcome, it's easier to feel grateful for the lessons, growth, and strength that have emerged from past experiences. Gratitude shifts our focus away from what's missing and reminds us of the abundance already present in our lives. When we express gratitude for our past wins, we also invite more success and positive energy into our future. Taking a moment to reflect on your past wins is not about bragging or resting on your laurels. It's about building confidence and recognizing that you've already proven your capabilities. Every win you've had is a step toward becoming the person you're meant to be. By revisiting these moments, you reconnect with your inner strength, and you start to see that doubt has no place in your journey. Reflecting on your wins helps you silence the voice of doubt and reminds you that you are more than capable of achieving everything you set your mind to. The people and environments around us have a profound impact on our mindset and how we experience life. When we surround ourselves with negative influences, whether it's people who discourage us, environments that drain our energy, or media that promotes fear and limitation, doubt finds fertile ground to grow. Doubt loves negativity as it feeds on fear, criticism, and pessimism. It whispers in our ears, telling us that we're not good enough, that success is out of reach, and that we're destined to fail. But when we surround ourselves with positive influences, we create a shield against doubt and negativity. In Buddhism, the company we keep is seen as crucial to our growth and spiritual journey. The Buddha himself emphasized the importance of kalyana mitta, or wise and supportive friends who encourage our progress and uplift our spirits. Positive influences don't just make us feel good in the moment, they help us cultivate the right mindset and attitude to navigate life's challenges. When we spend time with those who inspire us, who support our dreams, and who believe in our potential, we begin to internalize their positivity and optimism. Their belief in us acts as a mirror, reflecting back our own worth and capability. It's also important to create an environment that nurtures our well-being. In Buddhism, we learn that our surroundings can either support or hinder our practice. A cluttered, chaotic space can contribute to a restless mind, while a calm, organized environment promotes clarity and focus, whether it's the people we interact with or the physical spaces we inhabit. Surrounding ourselves with positivity helps shift our internal environment, making it easier to dispel doubt and cultivate a sense of peace. By actively choosing to be around people who lift us up, we reinforce our belief in ourselves. Positive influences act as a reminder of what's possible and show us what we can achieve. Instead of staying stuck in the company of those who hold us back, we seek out individuals who share our values, support our goals, and help us stay focused on what truly matters. This doesn't mean cutting people out of our lives, but rather being mindful of the energy we allow to influence our thoughts and actions. In addition to people, it's essential to surround ourselves with content that nourishes our minds. Whether it's books, podcasts, videos, or music, the media we consume plays a huge role in shaping our beliefs and attitudes. Consuming positive, motivating, and inspiring material helps counterbalance the doubts that may arise in our minds. It reinforces the belief that we are capable, that success is possible, and that we have the power to create change in our lives. The power of positive influences is not just about making us feel good in the short term, it's about helping us shift our long-term mindset. When we immerse ourselves in a supportive environment, we begin to internalize a belief system that fosters growth and resilience. The more we are surrounded by positivity, the easier it becomes to recognize doubt as a passing thought, not a truth. We create a mental environment where confidence, strength, and possibility thrive, and doubt loses its power over us. 6. Reframe failure as feedback. One of the most powerful shifts we can make in overcoming doubt is learning to reframe failure, not as something to fear or avoid, but as valuable feedback on our path to success. Failure is often seen as the ultimate confirmation of our doubts, a sign that we are not good enough or that we've reached our limits. However, in Buddhism, we are taught that suffering and setbacks are part of life's natural cycle and that they carry essential lessons for growth. The key is to change the way we view failure. Instead of seeing it as something negative or permanent, we can choose to view it as a teacher, offering us insight and helping us evolve. When we experience failure, it's easy to spiral into self-criticism and let doubt take over. We might think, "I'm not cut out for this," or "I'll never succeed." But in reality, failure is not a reflection of our worth. It's simply feedback. Each failure provides an opportunity to pause, assess, and learn from our mistakes. By viewing failure as feedback, we empower ourselves to take the lessons it offers and use them to improve and move forward. Instead of asking, "Why did I fail?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this experience?" When we make this shift, failure no longer holds the same weight. It becomes a stepping stone on our journey rather than a roadblock. Buddhism teaches that everything is impermanent, and this includes failure. Just as doubt is temporary, so too is failure. It doesn't define us, it's just a moment in time. The key is not to let that moment define our future. By reframing failure as a necessary part of the process, we can let go of the fear that comes with it. Instead of avoiding challenges or shying away from taking risks, we approach them with the understanding that failure is simply a natural part of growth. Every time we fail and rise again, we build resilience, learn new skills, and move closer to our goals. By reframing failure as feedback, we start to see setbacks as opportunities to improve rather than reasons to quit. When we reflect on what didn't work, we gain clarity on what does work and what changes need to be made. For example, if a project doesn't turn out the way we hoped, it's a chance to evaluate our approach, adjust our strategy, or learn a new technique. Rather than focusing on the negative emotions attached to failure, we can celebrate the learning that takes place. This mindset shift allows us to move forward with greater clarity, wisdom, and a deeper understanding of who we are and what truly matters. One of the greatest strengths of reframing failure is that it breaks the cycle of self-doubt. Rather than questioning our worth or abilities, we begin to trust the process and understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. It's a temporary detour, not a dead end. In Buddhist practice, self-compassion plays a vital role. Being kind to ourselves when we fall short isn't weakness, it's strength. It helps us stop feeding feelings of inadequacy and instead build self-trust. That trust becomes the fuel that keeps us going, even when the path gets steep, because we realize that every step, even the missteps, shapes who we are. When we view failure as feedback, we unlock the power of a growth mindset. We stop seeing our abilities as fixed and recognize that we are capable of learning, evolving, and improving. Failure becomes a teacher, not a punishment, but a guide toward deeper mastery and self-awareness. With this new lens, doubt loses its grip because we know that every challenge is simply another opportunity to rise, and every fall is a chance to rebuild with more wisdom than before. Once we embrace failure as feedback, we free ourselves from the fear that holds us back. We release the weight of perfectionism and step into the freedom of progress. This is how confidence grows, not from never falling, but from rising again with new eyes and turning every setback into a stepping stone. Every failure carries a lesson, and each lesson takes us one step closer to discovering our true potential. Reframing failure also teaches us patience. Instead of rushing or forcing success, we learn that real progress takes time and steady effort. With every setback, we move closer to becoming the person we're meant to be, letting go of doubt and stepping into our limitless potential. Affirmations are one of the most powerful tools we have to overcome doubt and reprogram the mind for success. In a world filled with constant noise and negativity, our inner voice often becomes our biggest obstacle. We spend so much time focusing on what we can't do, what's not working, or how we fall short, until we begin to believe those thoughts are true. But through Buddhist mindfulness, we learn to observe our thoughts and shift them. We begin replacing self-limiting beliefs with those that uplift and empower us, and affirmations help us do exactly that. They allow us to consciously choose the thoughts that shape our lives. By repeating positive, meaningful statements aligned with our values and goals, we gradually rewire our minds. These affirmations quiet the voice of fear and strengthen the voice of confidence. The more we repeat them, the more we start to believe in our ability to succeed. Just as repetition builds habits, it also shapes our thinking. When we consistently affirm our potential, we rewire our minds to believe in our worth, our abilities, and our power to achieve what we desire. Through this practice, our self-image shifts from doubt and insecurity to inner confidence and trust. In Buddhism, the practice of right speech, speaking truthfully, kindly, and in ways that promote well-being, is essential. Affirmations naturally align with this principle. They teach us to speak to ourselves with kindness, affirm our value, and recognize our innate potential. By using affirmations, we create an internal space filled with self-love and encouragement rather than judgment and fear. When we speak to ourselves with the same compassion we offer others, we begin to believe in the positive truths we repeat. Our words have power. They shape how we see the world and how we see ourselves. Affirmations give us control over that inner dialogue, rewriting the story into one of strength, growth, and possibility. But the true power of affirmations lies not just in the words, but in the feeling behind them. When we speak them with sincerity, emotion, and belief, we activate the energy needed to bring those words to life. So when you say your affirmations, don't just recite them, feel them. Let them move through you like truths already becoming real. When we affirm that we are confident, capable, and worthy of success, we begin to reflect those qualities in our lives. The mind is incredibly powerful, and by speaking positive truths about ourselves, we align our thoughts, actions, and energy with those beliefs. The more we affirm our strengths, the more we step into the reality we want to create. One of the greatest benefits of affirmations is their ability to break old patterns of self-doubt and limitation. Doubt is rarely something we're born with. It's something we've absorbed through past experiences, social conditioning, or repeated criticism. Affirmations help us unlearn those beliefs and replace them with empowering perspectives. Instead of focusing on what's missing, we start noticing what we already have and what's possible. This shift in perspective opens the door to new opportunities and nurtures the belief that success is within our reach. With affirmations, we're not just saying nice words, we're choosing to change the way we think. In Buddhism, it is taught that the mind can be trained, from confusion to clarity, from suffering to peace. Affirmations support this transformation by directing our thoughts toward healing, growth, and inner strength. They empower us to take control of our internal world, guiding our thoughts toward positivity and self-belief. As we regularly practice affirmations, our thinking begins to reflect our highest potential, helping us rise above the doubts that once held us back. Another powerful effect of affirmations is how they root us in the present moment. When we affirm our goals, our worth, and our ability to succeed, we bring our awareness into the now. We release regrets about the past and anxiety about the future, grounding ourselves in the belief that we are strong enough to handle whatever comes. Affirmations remind us that the power to change our lives starts within us. They help us stay centered on our path and encourage us to keep taking steady steps toward our goals. Thank you for being here. If this message spoke to you, please like, share, and subscribe for more inspiration on reaching your full potential. Feel free to leave a comment below about how you've overcome doubt in your journey, and share this message with someone who may need it. Until next time, may peace, clarity, and unshakable strength guide your path.